Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. This is episode 119. It's going to be our mid-season awards show. So we're going to be giving out the awards. It's basically week 9, so basically the middle of the season. It's 17, 18 weeks of the NFL season. So basically this is the halfway point of the NFL season. We're coming to you guys after the Chiefs game. They just won 30-24 against the Bucs in overtime. Mahomes got it done. Of course he did. Andy Reid got it done. Of course he did.
Not even that. DeAndre Hopkins got that shit done. DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins is the reason they didn't get it over in regulation. He didn't know the ball was coming to him, and he kept running on that. Come on,
I guess, man. But if I'm all I'm saying is if this game is what happens when he's really in that offense, is going to be scary for the next 3
still
months.
missing Hollywood Brown, still missing Pacheco. So she's offense. No, she is out for the season, but she's.
Oh, you're saying people are going to be back wise?
Yeah. Hollywood in the playoffs, and
that's like I feel like that would be later in the playoffs. Regardless, sorry.
No, not really. I think he's gonna be back by December. They said. But how are you doing though? I know Michigan State had his first game of the season today. I saw that coin card dunk.
Yeah, you missed a better one. He tried to dunk on some kid. I don't know why he jumped on him. That was a good game. It's weird. Like the only team to lose. Do you see the UCF game?
Yeah, I saw the ending of it. Yeah.
Who is it? It's Mikey Dior and who's last 5-star they got?
They got Mikey Dior. I don't know the other kid, but I don't think Mikey and Dior are starting.
Dior I think is a 6-man in the rotation at least.
Yeah, they got a pretty talented team out there in UCF. So.
We're gonna hop into college basketball at some point in time this year.
Yeah, won't be tuning in. I'm not tuning into no Michigan State games. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not doing it.
I'm not. I don't. Yeah. Okay. The Big Ten will suck this year.
Yeah. I told you y'all was gonna suck last year. Y'all sucked last year.
I'll be honest. Indiana will be like. I think Indiana will be good. I think it'll be a lot of mediocrity. A lot of 5 to 9 seeds. Huh?
Illinois is gonna be good.
I don't think so.
What's
good? I guess.
They're gonna be ranked. Like they're gonna be ranked.
You think they'll end the season ranked?
Yeah, I think
it's all dependent on Boswell.
I think they should have came into the season ranked, in my opinion. But
Rutgers should have been ranked. I like Rutgers a lot. They're fun, whatever. But Rutgers should not have been ranked. That's all I'll fight.
For sure, they shouldn't have been.
All I'll fight.
Yeah, that's a high ranking. But we can talk about college basketball.
I was gonna say. I would like to go. I would like to get into it, but yeah.
Yeah, midseason ranking. I mean, midseason awards. Pardon me. So we're gonna run down the list of awards. Actually, I need to put them in here. Let me quickly put them in the thing so I know exactly when to put it for the tracker. Q, how you been doing, bro? How you been doing today? A lot of basketball on.
Yeah, I watched mad games today. I'm tired. I was about to fall asleep. I've seen like everything.
No, it was, bro. I hate when the NBA puts all them games on at one time. That's not a good idea, bro. Like it's really not.
The Lakers lost the Pistons today.
Yep. Pistons 3-5, man. First time winning 3 games this early in a minute, man. We lit.
It's crazy because we won like 2 games last year and then it was over with.
Yep. Lost
like 2 months.
Yep. Shit, crazy. All right, let's start off with MVP. We don't really gotta.
No,
we don't gotta do this. Y'all, anybody can say it, whoever y'all want to go, but we know what the MVP is right now.
I got Jaden Dent. No, I got
this season where we know what the MVP is, y'all. Come on now.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. The thing with the NFL, they made a mistake last year, and I understand like MVP is like a season by season thing, but like giving it to Lamar last year, based off like a couple of moments with subpar numbers, mess it up for this year. Because now, like, if you don't give Lamar Jackson MVP this year, it's gonna look so crazy because his numbers is gonna be way better than they were last year, and his MVP years. Like, you gotta give it to him this year. But like giving it to him, like giving him 3 MVPs is type crazy. Giving him back-to-back MVPs is type crazy, especially for somebody that don't get doesn't do anything in the postseason. We know they knock QBs for that. Like anytime that somebody won like 3 and 5 years and things like that, 9 times out of 10 they made the Super Bowl at least once. Like Brett Favre won 3 in a row, and he made the Super Bowl twice. Like Lamar has yet to do that. I think it'd be crazy to give it to him, but as of right now, he's the MVP.
I'll be honest, like it just always seems like it's it is not best player in the league, right? Because it's the same thing like LeBron and Pat Mahomes, right? Like it's where I think every year Pat Mahomes is the best player in the league. He can have these down games, and I understand that can hurt him. The team's still 8-0, and they're still ways to win at the end of every game. At the end of the day, I think if you took Pat Mahomes away from the team, like obviously I think the biggest drop off. But yeah, I mean Lamar's putting up video game numbers. They've had a couple scary like losses here or there, but they've had great wins. They beat good teams, especially if they can just keep up 11, 12 wins. I don't think there's really much of a discussion. I think you need a second half from Josh Allen where he can will that team and put up video game numbers. You need maybe Derrick Henry does some crazy stuff, but even then, I think that's just helping his case more and more.
Herbert is third, bro. Justin Herbert is third.
Huh?
Justin Herbert is third, bro. He is. Justin Herbert.
You think he's third?
I do.
Huh. Thanks for the credit. I'm not thinking about that.
Another thing, having an MVP that's not a top 2 seed is also just crazy. Like so, to give it to a fifth seed, that'd be nuts.
Unfortunately, I think
Lamar's a 50, right?
Lamar's a 50.
Yeah, the Chiefs, the Chargers are the 60, I think.
Yeah,
I guess, but like
that just don't make sense at all. Like we never seen that. So to even like say things like that out loud just sound crazy. So now we just doing a whole lot of whatever just to like give people awards. And then you got it's week 9. Derrick Henry got a band. Like he got a band.
That's what
already. You got
insane
offensive player of the year like in your backfield. So you have to knock that. Like Christian McCaffrey basically it was taking away votes from Brock Purdy, who also should never won the award. But like we've seen that happen before. But now we like, and I'm messing with Lamar. The Ravens on my team, but now we
Josh Allen.
Huh?
You think it should be Josh Allen?
I don't have to really make a case for him. He's making a case for him by himself. You saying have a crazy second half doesn't really make sense to me because his numbers is pretty much like right there on par with everybody else that's in the MVP conversation. Plus,
I think that the head-to-head matchup does. I feel like the head-to-head matchup kind of hurts. It kind of sticks a little bit in voters' heads though. Sometimes
you don't go against a team's quarterback. You go against their defense. So
yeah, so like that also
understand.
That's another thing that we changing. It feels like we changing a lot of the rules and narrative that's been.
So you think it should be Josh Allen? You think it should be Josh Allen? Is what we're
no, I don't.
Okay.
I wouldn't give it to Josh Allen right now.
Who would you give it to then? Would you give it to Lamar?
It had to go to Lamar. I'm just saying we changing the narrative just to try to like give it him. And I think that's just like a lot of things with Lamar be a lot of overcorrection from like a lot of people saying the dumbest things in the draft. I think we just for him it's just like you can't disrespect him or people they feel funny about you about the way you talk about Lamar. It's kind of weird.
I think Lamar is the midseason MVP. He has the numbers. His numbers are amazing right now. He's had, I think, 2 perfect passer rating games this season. His numbers on the ground are insane. The Ravens are winning. They're obviously not at the top of the conference, but I think the games they lost had little to do with Lamar Jackson coming up short. The game against the Browns, so many drops. The game against the Raiders, I wouldn't say he wasn't to blame, but he definitely wasn't the reason they lost either. And the game against the Chiefs, I think he had a decent to pretty good game. Came down to the wire. He could have been better in that game. They do have 3 losses. I wouldn't say any of them are on Lamar Jackson, though, for sure, especially that Browns game. And his numbers are crazy. I know he does have Derrick Henry, offensive player of the year, probably in the backfield. But yeah, I think he's the MVP right now. They could just have the MVP and the offensive player of the year in the backfield. But I think it is going to come closer. It is going to come closer to the end of the year. I think Josh Allen, if they continue to, if the Ravens get another loss and Josh Allen continues to hoop, then there's definitely going to be a close MVP race. But yeah, I mean, if the Ravens have the offensive player of the year and the MVP in the backfield and don't go to the Super Bowl, that would be kind of crazy. But the defense is bad, so I mean, we'll see.
We should just get in the offensive player of the year next because I think it's another
offensive player of the year is the next award. I think that's gonna be Derrick Henry. Obviously, he's been the best running back in the NFL this season, bar none. He has like 13 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. He's definitely the offensive player of the year at the midseason mark. Like clearly,
I agree, and this is not me saying he's gonna lose it, but if anyone's gonna compete with him, it is Saquon probably. His usage got to go up. I think that the team's kind of turned around a little bit more, so maybe that means more production from him.
Doesn't he have 5 less touchdowns? Doesn't he have 5 less touchdowns?
Like what I just said, I'm not trying to say that Saquon is going to take the award from him, but if anyone's going to give him a run for his money, it's going to be Saquon. I think like the other guys in the conversation, I just don't think we'll be able to do enough down the stretch to compete with what he's got right now because he arguably has he could be in the conversation if the season ended today and everyone else played the rest of the year. So,
yeah, Shane. Oh, my boy. Okay. Yeah, obviously it's Derrick Henry, but Saquon can run them down if the Eagles go on a hot stretch, and it seems like they in their stride right now. The Ravens are about to go into a tough stretch against all the AFC North opponents, so that could get dicey. We don't know how that's gonna go. You could probably chalk up at least one more loss to like the Steelers. They could lose this Thursday just by getting into a shootout. You just never know. Last time it came down to a turnover, but Lamar also had a turnover, things like that. So AFC North things happen. You could probably chalk up another loss, and that'll hurt everybody's chances. While the Eagles, they pretty much got a soft schedule for the rest of the way. So it's just all how it ends out the end, like finishes the end of the year.
Defensive player of the year, I think they definitely got to be JJ Watt. He's been dominant this season.
JJ's come back from retirement.
Not JJ Watt. I actually had JJ Watt written down. TJ Watt is defensive player of the year. He's been insane. He's been wrecking games this year. Last year they didn't give it to him because I think Myles Garrett and other players were double teamed more, and they pressure rates are more and stuff like that. But this year it's undeniable. He is carrying a defense on his back again. They obviously have other pieces, but he's been the best defensive player in the league this year by a mile. I don't think it's been particularly close at all, especially since Aiden Hutchinson went down. After that, it was definitely TJ Watt award.
It was close. It was closer around like even with Aiden gone, like Dexter Lawrence kind of had a small tiny case. Like he's doing pretty much the same thing, but he's doing it from the interior. That's obviously harder. The case for Myles Garrett, like you said last year, the thing is when you got Alex Highsmith and Cam Hayward and things like that on your defense, you're seeing more one-on-ones. Like obviously you still get a decent amount of attention, but you can't just double TJ and think everything's gonna be fine because you got Cam and Alex doing their thing. We're talking about 10 sack guys. Myles Garrett, even though Zarius Smith was on the other side, he's still seeing doubles and dribble teams like twice the amount of time. He's putting up the same amount of numbers, so it's like he's doing the same amount of work, but it's harder for him. But this year, TJ Watt pretty much went through the same thing. Alex Highsmith was out for a good portion in the beginning. Cam Hayward was out for a good portion in the beginning. Justin Fields wasn't playing great football, and they were winning on the back of their defense, meaning they was really winning on the back of TJ. Just what was the game against the Giants? Russ, they got a turnover. Russ fumbled the ball. TJ said, "I got you." Got the ball right back, like literally sacked from like 3 plays later. Just got the ball back, and that's how they won the game. So he's making his presence felt every single game, and that's probably they have a very good chance to win the division if you keep playing like that.
Yeah, not much to say. The Steelers are 6-2, and right now, I honestly think they could maybe win a playoff game if they host it. The Steelers look pretty good with Russ, with their defense. They've been beaten up on some weak opponents, but I still think that this team is serviceable for the rest of the year, and their defense seems to be semi-legit.
Semi-legit?
Semi-legit is crazy.
Semi-legit
defense is great.
I'm not gonna lie. The defense, I don't know.
No, it's been since the first game, since that Falcons game. I feel like even with Justin Fields there, they're kind of like winning, just getting by with the run game and the defense being able to slug it out long enough. But Russ has been able to make some throws down the stretch. Beat the Giants right there, obviously. But yeah, I don't really think there's much contention. My Aiden Hutchinson pick looked great for a little bit until it wasn't.
All right, let's move on to Offensive Rookie of the Year. I ain't gonna lie, Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think it's much of a debate. It's Jaden Daniels.
It was, and I thought it was.
He's been clearly the best rookie. It's not a
It
debate.
was one.
It was. I feel like before Jaden really started turning up, and before Malik got injured, Malik was the offensive rookie of the year for like the first 3-4 weeks. No, 4 or 5 weeks. What?
I wouldn't say that.
I thought they were like at least in contention with it. I thought Jaden really started winning in like what, the Browns game, like kind of like the last 4 or 5 weeks. I think like since like week 5. Maybe I got my dates wrong, but I thought Malik was definitely in contention. It's definitely Jaden Daniels right now, and it probably will be for the rest of the year. Their schedule is very winnable. He can win more games for sure against Dallas, who looks pretty bad. Obviously, their defense looks bad. Maybe you get one against the Eagles, but there's definitely some winnable games along the line. And I think he could definitely pad some more stats in some of those games and put together a really, really great rookie campaign. So
yeah, right now I think he has like 2,300 yards total right now, 9 passing touchdowns, and he has 4 rushing touchdowns as well. So 13 touchdowns right now. I think 2 picks, completing 71% of his passes. Yeah, he's definitely always rookie of the year. It's not even close, but we all saying that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it was ever really close.
Yeah, I think a lot of these awards right now are pretty clear. Defensive rookie of the year, I would say that'll be Jared Verse. Been creating a lot of pressure.
My pick.
For the Rams. Definitely been better. I thought it was gonna be Dallas Turner coming into the year. Dallas Turner been fine, but Jared Verse, I think he's leading the rookies in pressure percentage right now. He's not getting sacks. Well, he has 4 sacks, which is pretty decent through 9 games, especially for a rookie. But he doesn't have like many tackles.
Chase Young won it with like 5 sacks.
Yeah, so he's doing pretty good. Definitely defensive rookie of the year. I would say Jared Verse is been a major part of a Rams defense that really needs him to be good week in, week out for them to be competitive because defense is not good. But
the Rams defense is very, very young, and that Fisk and Verse Florida State combo they have has been working for a couple of these games. Jared Verse has looked to be like the alpha on the edge the whole game. I feel like in the Rams games I watch and the snaps I watch, like he really seems to be like a leader on the team. And hopefully you can go forward with that. They're just on such a weird timetable where they got to figure out a quarterback position because you could have some great defensive pieces going forward, but Stafford's timetable is not fitting up with your young defense's timetable. So they got to figure it out there. But for the time being, this defense overperformed what I thought it was going to do. Big win last week, obviously, against the Seahawks. But, yeah, I got Verse.
Yeah, same. With this Red defense, I said this like going into the year. Obviously, you don't replace Aaron Donald. But, like his production alone, you're just not going to do that. But you replace it by getting a certain amount of pieces. So having Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Jared Verse, and Braden Fisk on the D line with 2 of them that was already there last year, causing havoc up front. You have 2 new guys that already got good chemistry together. They play next to each other. You pretty much fill it, make up for it in the aggregate, and you pretty much are performing at the same level you were last year. Their defense wasn't good last year, but their defense isn't worse this year because they don't have Aaron Donald. Just about the same, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit better because they got a little bit, more better pieces and things like that. This is a good pick for him. Instant impact. He's pretty much running away with it. Quinyon Mitchell, he's heating up, but Jared Verse already got like a long stand in the head, so I think it should go to him no matter what.
All right. Next up is what? Coach of the year?
Yeah.
I did put it here. Coach of the year. Coach of the year got to be Dan Quinn. Nobody expected the Commanders to be 7-2. Nobody expected the Commanders to be 7-2 through 9 weeks. He's done an amazing job. The defense isn't great, especially with the secondary. Don't look at the coin. You do not expect that, Q. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing.
How you gonna tell me what I expect when I sat here and I put money on the line? I knew they were gonna have 6 wins literally before week 10. Like I knew that. That's why I made them.
You expect to be 7-2.
If they were 6-4, that's not 6. What would it be? 6-3. That's not far off from 7-2. That's pretty much the same.
All right.
Put money on this.
I don't argue.
You saying nobody because you didn't think so.
The general consensus did not have the Commanders.
And that's the problem because they didn't look at the schedule. They didn't see what was going on. Smart people like me seeing what was going on.
Sure, bro. Sure. Dan Quinn is still, regardless, the coach of the year because he has exceeded expectations. When he got hired, people thought that the Commanders were taking a downgrade from Ben Johnson and the other coaching candidates on the market, and they thought that he was a retread. They thought he was an uninspiring hiring, but so far he's been great. This defense isn't the greatest, but they are opportunistic and they kind of been outperforming their ranking in some games. So Dan Quinn been a great leader of men. Cliff Kingsbury been great too. But yeah, Dan Quinn got to be coach of the year.
He has a great case. But I think at this point you got to give it to Dan Campbell because now there'll be several years that he just got the team had gotten better and better. He got passed up 2 years ago. I think they gave it to Ryan Daboll. Didn't give it to him last year. I forgot who got it last. Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski got it recently.
Yeah, and he deserved it, sure, but I think Dan Campbell deserved it too. But now we're talking about a Lions team that went from 3 wins, and 3 years later they go 9, 11, and now 9 times of this thing they're probably going to be a 13, 14 win team, number 1 seed in the NFC, probably the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I think you finally got to give Dan Campbell credit, especially since same way that you say they felt about Dan Quinn, they felt even worse about Dan Campbell. They didn't think he could do anything up there. The biting kneecaps thing threw everybody off, and now he's looking like he's one of the best coaches in the league. So I think you got to give it to Dan Campbell.
And from my perspective, from my experience, people were giving up on Dan Campbell after that 8-9 season, saying like maybe he's not the guy. Even midway through that 11 win season, people were thinking like, sorry, yeah, 9-8. People were kind of giving up on him, like maybe he's not the coach to lead us there, whatever. He's proved everyone wrong. So I agree with the Dan Quinn. I agree with the Dan Campbell. I personally right now have Quinn, but I also think before this little skid they've gone on, Kevin O'Connell definitely needed to be in that conversation. Kevin O'Connell, through the first 5 games, obviously, that Vikings team looked insane. Brian Flores let out a great defense. Kevin O'Connell, I think if they can turn something around and still make a wild card, maybe compete for the division. They look like they're at 2 right now. I honestly think that he should be in the conversation. I think the Commanders' turnaround is a lot more surprising than anything else. I think we were talking about it, Q, like where you were saying that like the MVP, it's an individual season thing. I agree. And it's like, that's why this season I would probably give it to Dan Quinn over Dan Campbell. But in hindsight, right, like it'd be kind of crazy to say Dan Campbell's never got a Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, the NFL just don't really work like that. Like even if they missed out on an opportunity, and it's like you keep proving yourself, they're just gonna. It's more like a here you go, like a gimme, like yeah, you should have had it, so you might as well give it to you as long as you perform to that level. We're talking about a number 1 seed, in NFC, especially with the history of Detroit. I think that's more than enough reason. On top of him doing a great job every single year, like it's just. Between him and Brad Holmes, that should be a coach of the year / executive of the year combo like they got going on based on what they've done in the past 2 years.
I feel like I said the Lions are going to easily win this division. Did I say that? I feel like I did.
I feel like everyone said the Lions were going to win the division.
No. That's not what happened. But we can't.
Who doesn't have the Lions win the division?
Everybody had the Lions win the division.
No, we all had the Lions in the division, but we thought it was going to be a little bit closer. Did we not, Q? We thought it was going to be a little bit closer. Yes? Yes, we did.
More?
We did.
Sure. I had the Lions in my Super Bowl.
Yes, I understand that. That might not happen. Eagles is going to Super Bowl. We'll talk about it another day. But comeback player of the year, y'all can start. I know who I'm going to say.
I'll go first. Because mine will be the most unpopular pick out of the 3. There are 2 quarterbacks at the top of the list. Right now, Burrow and Cousins, I feel like, are both 2 top names right now. I'm going with J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, his whole career has been riddled with injuries. Obviously, had the torn Achilles last year. He got injured in 2021. He's been putting together a great campaign on a playoff team. Their O-line's working for him. it's just good to see J.K. Dobbins back. He's been injured. Obviously, he tore his ACL, I think, and his Achilles. It wasn't back-to-back years, was it?
Pretty much.
Was it back-to-back? So, like, again, kind of just adding more to it. Like, I feel like the Ravens obviously didn't throw him away. You got Derrick Henry, so you got to do what you got to do. But for him to come back and have this kind of season where he's on a playoff team, he's putting up great numbers with a great O-line, he's able to lead his team to wins. I'll give him a shout for it. Huh?
Lead his team to win.
Oh, it's a run game. I love Justin Herbert, but I'm not gonna lie.
Justin Herbert for the last 3-4 weeks has been amongst.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins hasn't done nothing in the past 5 weeks.
Yeah, Justin Herbert's been they went to a pass heavy offense like 3 weeks ago.
So maybe I gotta get back on my Charger stuff.
Yeah, again, Justin Herbert.
Gotta get back on my guy. No, but J.K. Dobbins has actually been, and I feel like maybe I'm just looking at fantasy wise.
Feel good story. I get it. But the comeback player of the year is Kirk Cousins. 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 2,300 yards. Injured his Achilles last year and came back from that. Definitely comeback player of the year, having a great year, leading the Falcons to a playoff appearance probably, and probably winning that division as well after tonight for sure. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. I wish it was A-Rod, but ain't been played well enough.
But that's not happening.
Still a lot of season left, baby. Still a lot of season left.
It's not. It's Kirk Cousins though, and Joe Burrow cool and all that, but they're not going. One, he already won that award. We're not about to keep rewarding a great quarterback from being injured. We're not about to keep doing that. And two, it's a very, very high chance that they do not make the playoffs. So it's there's no point in doing that. Kirk Cousins came back from Achilles tear, a whole new team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 5 years.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, they haven't been to the playoffs in 5 years. Last time they made it was 2018 or 2019.
With Matt?
Yeah. The year after the Super Bowl, the year after the Super Bowl or 2 years after that. But yeah, this Kirk Cousins is gonna put up solid numbers. He's gonna get you wins. We talking about clutch wins. Kirk Cousins is one of the better clutch quarterbacks. There's a whole lot of narrative that comes down to Kirk Cousins that pretty much been debunked the past 5 years. The Monday night situation, he's been great on Monday night since 2017. Primetime games, he's been great on primetime games since 2018. Fourth quarter comebacks, he's pretty much top 5 in the past 5 years. So he's doing his thing. First over Achilles tear, people thought he was cooked after playing the Steelers defense, and then after that, he
was in the group chat running around with that. After one game, he was trying to take a victory lap, but I digress.
Yeah, it's Kirk Cousins. He deserves it too. He does nothing but come to work. Doesn't cause no strafe. Doesn't do anything for the media. Doesn't wear dumb shirts.
And he tapped in with culture.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get nobody fired or anything like that. He don't put blame on nobody. He just lunch pail, shows up to work and wins games. I wish everybody could do that. You know what I'm saying? Kirk Cousins is just not built like everybody else.
All right, let's go it's kind of like a mid-season recap a little bit. So let's talk about the most surprising teams of the year so far. We can all give one surprising team. We'll start with Q. Who's the most surprising team you think of the NFL season?
Surprising? Is it general consensus or just me, me in general?
You.
Or just me personally?
You personally.
Me personally, it probably. Damn, I'm not sure. I'll probably say the Eagles. But I'll say the Eagles because they not the team itself, regardless of Nick Sirianni, they kind of righted the ship for what they looked like last year. Last year, they were 10-1, and I thought they were a bad team. This year, the record is not the same as last year, but I see the things that some things have changed, and then now it makes them look like a better team. I'm still not all the way there on them yet, but it looks like they took a whole shift from last year to this year.
Max, who's your most surprising team for the season?
Does it have to be surprising good or surprising bad as well?
Yeah, but disappointing team. So if you're gonna use surprising,
the Commanders are obviously up there. I was high on their offseason. I remember talking about it a couple of times. I was high on their offseason. You can go back and check.
Word, but I mean, I guess. Go ahead.
Okay, whatever. I was high on their offseason. I like the moves they made. Did not think they'd be 7-2. I'd probably say my biggest surprise would be Denver. I feel like their schedule or their record doesn't really show the whole picture. They've looked very bad at times. Let's not get that twisted. But the fact they're actually in the playoff picture was like very surprising to me. I could even say that after whatever game 3 or game 4. So they're 5-4 right now. Trying to get that 7th spot, that 6th spot, whatever. But they're actually putting together some wins here and there. Bo Nix, does he look great? No, but he's somehow getting wins here and there. The defense, PS2 is the best DB in the league. Yeah, that I'd probably say they are my most surprising team right now.
Yeah, they're quickly going to be out the playoff picture. They're going to lose next week to the Chiefs and then lose.
Yeah, their schedule is crazy right now.
Let them fall, but right now they're surprising.
My most surprising team got to be the Commanders. I did not expect this at all. Obviously, I bet against them winning 6 games. So with them winning 7 games already, being 7-2, definitely surprising. They're been one of the best offenses in the league so far this season. Didn't predict that. Their defense, the secondary has been terrible, but I think Dan Quinn has coached them really well. So they're a bit better than what they're ranked, I would say. As far as defense, the most surprising teams, definitely they're kind of like a lot to make the playoffs, especially since Dak Prescott is going to miss probably 4 weeks, so they're going to probably get 1 game off the Commanders at least
for the season.
Yeah,
they're not going to get them back if they 4-10. It'll just make no sense.
Yeah, if he out, they're going to win both of those games too, and that's kind of what they need to make the playoffs. They already got 7, so once they get to 10, they'll be fine.
The quick thing that the I guess the world disrespecting Terry McLaurin before this year. It's like certain players, like we gonna use Garrett Wilson for example. When people want to prop up Garrett Wilson and say he's this, that, and the third, the first thing they say is he had 1K with bad quarterback play. But they'll say, oh, he's a great route runner, great separator, good hands, good contested catches, all that. Because you can see that on film. You can watch that on film. You can see all of that. You don't need to look at production to understand. You can watch him do that. Terry McLaurin does the same thing. Great route runner, great separator, great contested catch guy, a leader. And again, he's been putting up 1K with bad quarterbacks his whole career. Yeah, but everybody hate Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin ain't this, he ain't that because he don't put up 1,400 yards. Now he got a quarterback. He's probably gonna have about 1,200 yards and 10, 12 touchdowns, and now we're going, oh, yeah, he was a top 10 wide receiver last year, but he's been – I'm not saying he's top 10, obviously. He's more like 16 to 22, but now he's getting respect because now he finally got a quarterback. I think it's people should, start watching film more than just looking at a stat sheet and just seeing, he put up 1,000 and this dude put up 1,500, so that means the dude with 1,500 is automatically better.
Garrett Wilson was written off the season. He's on pace for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns.
For sure, he's top 2, top 3 in receiving yards.
Yeah, people was writing him off. We're not writing back. But anyways, my surprising team was Commanders. Disappointing team. Gotta say the Jets have been the most disappointing team so far this season. Been complete trash at moments. Very, very embarrassing for their fan base and for me as an Aaron Rodgers fan. Just terrible. Fired their coach already in midseason. The intern coach really don't know what he's doing. They did have an encouraging win over the Texans who were injured, but they should have had 28 points. But Michael Corley, whatever dude's name is, dropped the ball before he got hit. There's a whole bunch of embarrassing shit happening the whole entire season. They're an embarrassing team, an embarrassing franchise, a disappointing team, and a disappointing franchise. Been the most disappointing team so far. But still a lot of football to play. Like Devontae said, wrong West today. So we still on it. Let's go. Not giving up yet.
Only if a smart dude told you that this team was poorly coached, it's overrated, and the franchise is horrible. If only somebody came here and told you all that, and told you that a 40-year-old quarterback off an Achilles tear who's a bad leader was just going to somehow turn around a historically bad organization. If only somebody told you that.
Do you think they're going to be 3-6 through 9 weeks of the season?
Just about.
Okay.
And I still think they can win 9 games. I said this when we did the preview. I said this is a 9-win team. They can. I still think they can win 9 games.
Hopefully,
well, they showed that whatever on Thursday night.
So what?
You beat a beat up Texans team at home.
Sure, I mean, did that last year.
You play who's in front of you. You play.
I'm saying you get a win there after losing to the Patriots and the Steelers back to back.
Yep.
They lost like 5 games in a row.
I think the Jets. The next opponent is the Cardinals. So we'll see. The Cardinals are a dangerous team right now. So we'll see.
They're contenders, bro. They're a tough team. They're really the Cardinals, man. They're really good. Yeah.
Who are disappointing teams? Who are disappointing teams?
I have 2. One, it won't really matter because Dak's out, so it'd be the Cowboys and the Jets. I thought both would be playoff teams, wild card teams. The Cowboys stink.
Wild card team? Is it? Huh? They just can't be a wild card team.
The Cowboys?
No, the Jets. Are you
calling? I guess I thought they'd be in the hunt.
Okay, it will be.
I guess I don't think 9 wins are gonna cut it. I don't think 9 wins are gonna cut it in the
AFC. Hold on. You want to bet?
I mean, I know because we already have a bet ongoing right now. So
it's like triple down the Jets.
You could double on to that. I know you want the break even for the Saints. Why don't you try to win some money? Actually, win some money.
I'm cool with breaking even. I'm so cool breaking even. Saints have lost 7 straight games. I'm cool.
Do you think the Jets are going to make the wild card?
You said what?
Do you think the Jets are going to make the wild card?
Yes. Am I confident enough in it to put money on it? No, I'm not. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, well, people crazy.
Force me in a bet for no reason. But Saints lost 7 straight games, so I'm pretty happy.
I'm not saying the Jets are completely out, but they're kind of out. And it's just the simple fact that I don't know if 10 wins is going to be good enough in the AFC playoffs.
You look at how you see the AFC. Why do you keep saying that, Max?
9 wins could get you to 9 wins.
AFC standings right now.
The problem is if the Broncos could get 9 wins, the Jets do not make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
4 more games, the Jets don't make the playoffs at all. And the Chargers are making the playoffs for sure. The Steelers are making the playoffs. There's one spot left.
I got like 3. Yeah, I'm not like really. I don't know. I'm not really like locked into what the Jets are gonna do.
You need to look at the AFC standings. It's not good. It's a crapshoot down there.
I'm looking right now. I guess you guys could beat up on some. Yeah, you guys do have a good schedule, but
I don't know who you guys is. Not just fans. Don't assess me.
You're lying.
You guys, you know exactly what I was talking to. Yeah, I thought you also would beat the Broncos, and I thought you also would have beat the Patriots, and I thought you also.
I'm talking about favorable schedule. I told you.
I was told. Hold on.
Kind of confused on who y'all is. You keep alluding to. But
I was told by a Jets fan that there's no way that they could ever lose the Steelers or the Patriots, and they
Joe Moran or Joe Dills, anybody like that.
Hey, look. I know we're not supposed to really stay on this. Do you think they beat the Bills?
Yes.
You think they're gonna beat the Bills?
They can't. Yes, they can't. They can't. I mean, it was a 1-score game.
Will they? Will they
beat the Bills?
Not confident in it, to be honest, but they can.
Rams?
Yes, they can beat the Rams.
Seahawks?
Yes, they can beat all these teams. Yes, they can beat.
Are they gonna beat these teams? They got one. They got.
They could have beat the Patriots.
They're gonna sweep the Bills, the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Seahawks. That's what you're telling me.
They can afford 2 losses right now at this point in time.
They can afford 1 loss because if Denver wins 4 games, they're done.
I might even mess around and lose the Jags.
The Bengals go on a run, they're done, and I don't even think they're gonna do that. There's 1 spot. They can afford 1 spot. There's only 1 spot available.
If they go 9-8, I think they get in. But like I said, man,
my team was the Cowboys, by the way.
Huh?
My disappointing team was the Cowboys.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna let them on the hook because that got injured, but they were kind of
They were
bad before, but yeah, it's gonna be rough. That messes up my entire CD Lamb narrative, though. That ruins my CD
Let's
Lamb
get our week 9 recap. We're gonna recap a couple games. Week 9, the biggest games. Let's start with Saints firing Dennis Allen. The Saints obviously lost 7 straight games. We're supposed to win 7 games this season, I guess. 7 straight losses.
Don't do that. Don't do that because don't try to victory lap one thing.
Yeah.
And I ain't the one to disclaimer.
Hey.
He tried to let me out the bet. He tried to let me out the bet and said no. Cool with the injuries and all that. So you coming up here to gloat? Don't do that because you've been wrong all season on everything else. Don't do that.
I have been wrong on a couple things. Not everything. Come on, everything is crazy. A couple things, yes. I have been wrong on the Jets.
Everything. The things you would have allowed us for, you would have wrong.
I would agree with that. I was loudest on the Jets, and I was wrong about that. So that's fine. I agree. I was wrong. But I would, the Saints. I would feel bad for the injuries, but they just lost to the Panthers. So that's out of the window now. So 7 straight L's from the Saints. Dennis Allen gets fired. My question to y'all is, where do the Saints go from here? I obviously got Derek Carr on a terrible contract. Got Taysom Hill on a terrible contract. Entire roster is overpaid for a team that's nowhere near contention. Where is the next step for the Saints?
I was just say one thing. Call me crazy, but this team might be better without Dennis Allen than with Dennis Allen. So I think this team is terrible. I'm just being honest. Like Dennis Allen was so bad. This team needs to sell off the parts that are still valuable and rebuild while you can. Unfortunately, they're in a division where no matter how bad you are, you could still win games because the other teams are normally just as bad with you. I think 100. I mean, they beat the Panthers first game by how many?
40, and then they beat the Cowboys.
Anything since week 2.
Yeah, they
understand.
I'm sorry.
Understand. I'm not saying this year. I'm saying going forward in the future. So I think as far as what you can get, you got to sell Marshawn Lattimore, give him to the Chiefs if you have to. You got to get off anyone you really can at this point in time and start this whole rebuild. I'd say take your pick of a quarterback or wait till next year if you really want to. They'll be in contention, but there are so many 2-win teams. And I think a decent amount of them will honestly want a quarterback. So maybe waiting next year is the better route. I'd say you'd want to keep Olave. You'd want to keep Alvin Kamara. I think both of those would help out a rookie quarterback a lot. But I think if you can get something of value for anyone on your team, you make the deal. I think Olave you'd love to keep, but if someone offers you decent enough draft compensation, draft pick, any young player.
Football again. We gotta stop saying.
I forgot he got injured. I forgot he got injured. Yeah,
he's gonna play, but he probably shouldn't.
He always gets hit. Like he's been like had concussions like a couple times now.
It started like his last year at Ohio.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Again, I do think this team is in like it's a step worse from the Browns, where it's like your team is built to compete now, but you're just terrible.
It's not worse than the Browns. It's not worse than the Browns.
I think it is because I get you have Deshaun, but you have so much value in Myles Garrett and so much value in Denzel Ward.
The Browns situation is not worse.
The money sucks, but like Myles Garrett literally can restart or like jump that rebuild so much if and when you trade him. Getting 2-3 first-round picks, getting a young player, whatever you get for Myles Garrett is huge. The Saints don't really have anyone of value of that. You're trading Chase Young, you're trading Marshawn Lattimore, you're trading Demario Davis, and what are you getting? At most like a third for one of them, and you get like a fifth and a sixth.
40.
That's what I'm saying. Like you trade him to a contender who needs a linebacker or some shit. But all I'm saying, I'll let you guys get it. All I'm saying is just they don't have many valuable assets. So if you can get anything for anybody, you sell it off. To be honest, I'd even say you keep Derek Carr just as a mentor for whatever quarterback. You guys can hate that as much as you want.
Please, bro.
But yeah, I really don't have anything. Hire a good coach. Get Vrabel or something.
Their issue is that they waited too late thinking they could compete when they clearly weren't ever going to be able to compete in the NFC. For the past 3 years, they've just been pushing money down the road. I know people like to act like the salary cap fake. You could just keep manipulating. Eventually, you got to pay that bread. They're like $80 million over the cap for next year already. Alvin Kamara, I understand he could be good for a quarterback and whatnot. You just extending him again for another 3 years, and Buddy got a broken hand. All these players that were good 3 years ago just not worth the price anymore. So maybe 3 years ago you could have got a third or second or third for Cam Jordan. He's horrible this year. You probably could at most get a fourth at most. Marshawn Lattimore, he's dealing with injuries. Plus, he's got some money dealt and things like that. So at most, you're probably gonna the Chiefs, if they do go out there and go get them, they're not gonna give them more than a third. Chase Young is not good. Grant is okay at most a third or a fourth. Olave, nobody's giving up a lot. This is basically he's eligible for extension. Plus, he's dealing with concussion. Nobody's gonna deal with that. The Saints might as well just keep him. Taysom Hill was not worth it to nobody else in the league except for the Saints and Sean Payton. Their team is just messed up. They're just gonna have to, like you said, sell off the parts. They're gonna have to take pennies on the dollar, be bad next year. Go into this draft some things, build up the team, and then the year afterwards, draft your quarterback because it's a better quarterback class. You should definitely have like a top 3 pick because you're gonna have nothing on the roster, and then just go from there. But they got to clean up their books, and they just got to take their medicine and be bad.
Yeah, the Saints for a long time have been one of the most expensive teams in the NFL without actually being a contender at all. They paid Derek Carr. I don't know why they ever did that. I think when they did that, I was never a fan of it. I don't want to be like hindsight, but I'm pretty sure when we have a video on the page where I was like, that was just a dumb move. The reason I bet against him because I know Derek Carr sucks. I know Dennis Allen is not a good coach. Kamara has been good this year, basically, but there's only so much he can do. Chris Olave is a good player when he's on the field, but his chemistry with Derek Carr was never there. So this team is in a terrible position, but they're gonna have a high draft pick this year for sure, and maybe try to.
I don't know if that
should do it.
I don't know if that gets you though. Like at what you're probably gonna have. I assume they'll squeak out another win or two, right? I don't think they'll be as bad as New England. I don't think they'll be as bad as like Tennessee.
New England's beating Chicago next week.
Huh?
New England's beating Chicago next week. I'm here. I'm saying it right now. But we can talk about that later.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to put money on that?
No, that's Drake agenda. That's Drake my agenda. I'm not putting money on that.
You want to put money on it? Put some money on your agendas.
You're just very confident about that. I'm not gonna lie. That was like a very confident take you had right there.
Yeah, you're not getting
you just get slapped down like a dummy. Do you want to take the money up?
Because you don't believe it. You don't believe in your hearts are gonna win.
No, I do.
I'm scared they will. I'm scared they will, but I don't think you actually believe that.
But yes, I mean, do we have anything else to say about the Saints? And then I think I've been calling for him to get fired for a year now. So
we said on our firing whatever. I said, why is he not fired already?
Yeah.
Can we go on the Bears next though?
The Cowboys lost to the Falcons as well. Their season is basically over. Dak Prescott is injured for 4 weeks at least, I think. And I don't know if they play him, but they keep losing. Also, CD is dealing with a AC joint injury right now.
He's fine. He's fine.
That, especially with Dak being out. But props to him, I guess. Where do the Cowboys go from here, Q?
Not much. You got 2 roads. You either trade Dak Prescott, take that massive cap hit for a year, be bad. Hopefully they have enough ammo to probably hopefully draft Shador or something like that, or Cam Ward, whatever fits they fancy, and then go from there. You got a pretty decent setup outside of like you got a number 1 receiver. You'd have a pass rusher. You'd have a corner. You'd have 2 corners. You got an all-pro guard. You got if Tyler Guy gets better, then you got one side set up. From there, you got the decent building blocks. You just have to have a good drive. Dallas knows how to drive, better than most teams. Or you take your lumps this year. Next year, Dak gets back healthy. You change some things around, hire a better coach, and get a better team. Spend a little bit of money because they're going to be able to spend money this year. They weren't going to be able to do it last year because they waited too long to extend Dak. So you could have pushed no money down, but you'll be able to do it next year. Hopefully with a better team, healthy Dak Prescott, better coach. You could go from there. It's only 2 ways. I don't think either way they're not going to be most likely not going to be a contender, so it doesn't really matter. but it's either one way you're gonna either take your lumps for a year and be better, and your money gets clean, like your books get cleaner, or you keep on trying to contend with Dak Prescott. In the normal circumstances, Cowboys are like a 10-win team, 10 to 12-win team. Just wasn't it this year. They didn't do the right things necessary to stay up in the race with the NFC. They know that now, so I doubt they're going to make the same mistake twice. So it's just up to them to fix their mistakes. It's pretty simple what to do. It's just Jerry got to be unstubborn enough to do it.
I never thought they should have paid Dak Prescott. I understand that the market commanded what he received, and they don't really have leverage in the situation, but I would never be in favor of paying a quarterback $60 million that does not increase your ceiling and has proved to be a playoff dropper his entire career. It was a bad decision. Dak Prescott is good enough where he doesn't walk on trees. Like, you can't just find a quarterback like Dak Prescott in free agency, and it's sometimes even hard to find one as good as him in a draft. But I don't think that means pay him $60 million. I don't think that means pay him the most money in the entire league. They also have issues on the roster. They can't stop the run at all. They haven't been able to do that for a while now. They're dealing with injuries this year as well, which is unfortunate. But even before the injuries, they just didn't look good. Their running game, terrible. They don't have a wide receiver 2 outside of CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys have a lot of issues and don't have a lot of time to fix it because Jerry Jones doesn't have that much time left on this earth. It would be serious, and he wants to win a Super Bowl before he does that.
Crazy! You just saying he's gonna die?
Yes, he's 80, bro. Is that not like just?
No, I get it. I get it. That was just wild.
People don't want to talk about it. People don't like.
No, he's old. He's old.
I have no sympathy for racists. I'm sorry. Huh? I said I have no sympathy for racist people, but I digress.
What'd you say?
I said I have no sympathy for racist people.
Got you.
That's your idol's man's. You know that, right?
I don't support that.
Like they be on a plane together. They be at the bar.
I don't support that energy. But anyways, yeah, I just know I get it though, because like it's hard to let Dak walk out the door, because Dak was an MVP candidate last year and he was really good in the regular season. And he's had really good seasons, but come playoff time, he's not great at all.
All right, look, I want you to leave right there. I don't really want to interrupt you, but we know, like, regular season Dak, pretty out this year aside, regular season Dak, top 10 quarterback last year. He was great, top 2 MVP. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you think like, playoff jobber, like outside of playoff, like, you pay that. Everything all cool, all dandy, but we know when it gets to the playoffs, he ain't it, right?
I'm not committing $60 million to that now.
Not right. That's on their part. But I bet Lamar Jackson, we talking about a bona fide MVP. We talking about 2-time MVP. Regular season, we're going to go through it. Get to the playoffs, he's not shit. But you're not going to ever think twice about paying Lamar Jackson. The Ravens did. The Ravens thought about it. Everybody, you got to pay Lamar. You got to pay Lamar. Why is the conversation always so different? And I'm not making this a Dak versus Lamar, because obviously Lamar is better. But like, there's certain quarterbacks that just aren't going to win Super Bowls. Like, there's certain quarterbacks that just aren't going to win Super Bowls. That doesn't mean you don't pay. Like, you pay for the opportunity. You also paying to not be in quarterback purgatory. Like, it's a twofold thing. Like, would you rather go through a quarterback carousel because you don't want to pay that top dollar, and every 3 or 4 years you just switching out because you just not sure? Or you rather have some type of stability and hopefully one year you catch fire?
Well,
I watch my team do that. I watched the Ravens twice. Just hold out hope, and when we catch fire, we go on. We win a Super Bowl without having to do all that. But that's a long time in between just having bad quarterback play. I went through years of Joe Flacco being bad, and then he finally hit, win a Super Bowl, get paid, back to purgatory again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard to be in that gray area without actual, building blocks, especially if quarterbacks, the main piece.
I think so. For me personally, I just feel like Lamar has a lot more to do with the Ravens' success than Dak, to be honest. From an individual standpoint, with him being just better, and also Lamar is 27. Dak is not. He's had a lot more years in this league. Lamar has the opportunity to.
He's had 2 more years in the league.
I'm sorry.
He's only had 2 more years in the league.
Yeah, he's younger by a lot. Is my point. He has still a lot of room to grow. Lamar Jackson's still growing in front of our very eyes, becoming a better passer, becoming a better player. And so that's why I feel like, he has, for me, I'm not going to compare him to Dak in that sense, because as far as whether I'm going to pay them or not, because 1, he's better. 2, he's younger, and still getting better as well. And also, I think Lamar would kill to have a receiver like CeeDee Lamb ever in his career. In his career.
You could say that, but then Dak Prescott would probably kill to have, not this year with Stanton, obviously, but Dak Prescott would kill to have the best defense in the league. He'd kill to have that organization.
Defense has showed up in games, and he has not been able to get it done. He just haven't.
Yeah, in spots through a season, he's never had a defense as good as the Baltimore Ravens defense. I'm talking
about the playoff game.
Yeah, sure. In a playoff game, the Ravens are loved for Lamar Jackson to play great. They haven't got that yet. You can always pick out one. You could do that and do that. Pick out these one case scenarios on a grand scale of things. And this is not a Dak Prescott defense. Dak Prescott is not as good as Lamar Jackson. That's obvious. He's never going to be that good. He's he's not even a top 10 quarterback no more. He's probably around 13 to 16. And that's being nice just based off this year. But there's a gap between what he has and what most other top quarterbacks have in terms of, like, not even roster, just coaching, stability, culture. Like, he's at the bottom of the barrel with all of that compared to the other top teams. So it's like he's always going to fight an uphill battle. Other teams you got Lamar that went to a great organization, great GM, great coach, great culture, great defense. You got the best running back in the league. You got a decent wide receiver 1. He's really a 2, but you got a decent castle weapon. You got a decent offense, decent run game, one of the best run games. So you have all the support you need. You could say Dak Prescott had that kind of support. That wouldn't be true. Maybe like the first 3 years, but after that, it hasn't been nowhere near that. And that's partly due because he's gotten paid because he's uplifted a roster through a regular season. And that's how players get paid. Play great through the regular season, especially on a game-by-game basis. You're doing more with less than what other teams have. You're going to get paid. So I think it's just it's a organizational thing. It has nothing to really do. Like, half the pay has nothing to really do with, like, if this player could really take you to the Super Bowl. It's just, what are we without this quarterback? I mean, without a top 15 quarterback, top 10 quarterback, you're not nothing. So,
I mean, how much they're not really anything with them either though, to be honest. But go ahead.
I just had 2 things. One, I don't mind, again, if we're gonna talk about the Dak Prescott money, I don't mind it. At the end of the day, Jerry Jones cares about one thing more than Dallas Cowboys, and that is being a businessman and making money. And he is putting butts in seats by having Dak Prescott as the quarterback of the Cowboys versus Cooper Rush or whoever else you want to have that they could have gotten instead. They want to play competitive football for as long as possible. The Dallas Cowboys, I feel like, at least not in a long time, they've put out a competitive football team in the regular season. We know Dak can get you 10 wins. We know Dak can get you the playoffs. It's just what happens afterwards. I think this team has an easy rebuilding strategy plan. I think you obviously have to address the defense. You got to address the running back. I think you look at Ashton Genty. If you don't even have to do that at this point in time because this running back class is so deep. You can find talent, rounds, whatever, 2, 3, 4, even like third day picks. You need to spend money though on that defense, maybe on a wide receiver too. But there's just changes that need to be made to this team. But I feel like Dallas has shown in the past that they want to spend money. Dallas has shown in the past that they can draft well. And I think that they can make the changes needed to push this team back into a playoff contention, competing for the NFC East, whatever you want to say. So if I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, it sucks. Do I think I'm going to win a Super Bowl with Dak? No. But I do think that Jerry Jones can put other pieces around this to put this team back out to be a 12-5, a 13-4 kind of team. So,
well, that's not the goal.
Stretchy.
That's all the goal. The goal is Super Bowl, and I mean,
the goal is Super Bowl. I think there's about 3 quarterbacks per conference that could probably. There's about 3 teams per conference.
Yeah, I don't even know 3 quarterbacks.
At most, there's 6 teams, and in the next 10 years that'll probably just make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think the Cowboys are a team that's going to make it. I think we can make the Super Bowl, but I don't think we would win it per se. And I think to us make the Super Bowl, a lot of things have to happen. I think the Bills can make it, not this year, probably not next year, but I think they have a possibility to make it, and obviously the Chiefs. In the NFC, the Lions look like they can make it.
The Eagles
can make it, and either the 49ers or the Rams, given a year, Rams in the immediate 49ers within the next 3-4 years, they could probably make it back. Everybody else, I don't think they make it, but that don't mean I'm not going to pay Justin Herbert. That don't mean I'm not going to pay Joe Burrow. That don't mean I'm not going to pay.
Because if given the situation, it's going to work. You could.
You're going to pay top 10 quarterback money. And you're never going to make a Super Bowl, but you got to pay him that bread.
I don't think Decker is in none of those guys tier.
He's a tier down for sure, in my opinion.
But yeah, I digress.
He's not Justin Herbert. I don't think Dak's Justin Herbert. But I'm not
saying that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He's gonna get pretty much around the same type of money. All these quarterbacks are eligible for the same amount of money when it comes due. It's just whenever your time is your time, and if you up, you're gonna get that money.
Bears get dominated by Commanders. This game was never close at all. Max, we'll start with you, the Bears fan, man. What questions do I have for you for Bears fans? Oh, is it time to fire Matt Eberflus after this loss to the Cardinals?
I was just getting my quick monologue. We suck. There's really nothing else to say. Injuries kill us. Coaching kills us. Poor play kills us. Everything kills us. As a Bears fan, I just cannot catch a break from anything. I thought I was really hitting the all-time low when we lost the Commanders, and we followed that up with getting beat by 20 to the Cardinals. Not able to score a touchdown, 3 field goals, getting again another play with under 20 seconds left or whatever. However far DeMarcado ran, it's like a 40-50 yard touchdown. Literally, Kyler didn't have a good game. They just killed us in the run game. Our offense is bad. Our defense is bad. Again, I'm not giving up on Caleb. Like, Caleb obviously is showing some scary things. He's shown progressions here and there, but I still just I said this in the offseason. I don't think Flus is the guy. I never liked the Shane Waldron hiring. He gave me a little bit of confidence when it went from bad to okay. I don't understand why we wouldn't get Cliff Kingsbury. Obviously, as we're seeing right now, Cliff wanted to be part of this coaching staff. Cliff wanted to work with Caleb. That didn't happen. I've been wanting Flus gone since last year. I don't think Eberflus is the guy. I didn't think he has been the guy. I think the other coaches, especially available on the market, literally just I'm a Mike Vrabel believer, I guess, but please give me Mike Vrabel. Give me Ben Johnson. Give me anything at this point in time. I'll take Bill Belichick at this point. I don't know what else to say. You can give that's just the unfortunate thing about being a Bears fan. I can't even say I'm giving up on the season because we're gonna beat the Lions or the Packers, and I'm gonna get some sort of belief back in my system that we're gonna actually do something.
Or not.
I don't know. I have no words right now at this point in time. And I can't say anything because the injuries we have right now are gonna kill us too. So that's the reason why I think we could lose next week is because Tevin's out, Montez is out, Kyler Gordon's out, Jaquan Brisker, all these dudes are either out or dealing with injuries. I see the effort plays for DJ Moore, not great. He's quit on plays. He's just giving up on routes. Caleb's running for his life. Our run game can't get established. There's just literally nothing about it. I stopped watching the game because it's just there's nothing to enjoy about watching that game. No aspect of our football team is good. Besides Torrey Taylor. Torrey Taylor can punt the hell out of the ball. I got nothing. I really got nothing for this team right now. I thought we were in a little more. I can't even say I'm not even disappointed right now with how we are because this is how I kind of thought we'd be around that 5-3, 4-4 range. I thought that we'd be a couple games above 500. So I thought that we had 5 wins at this point in time. Sure, 4 wins, whatever. Yeah, it's literally just a tough schedule, and I have not seen anything that's gonna get me confident that we're making a playoff push. with the schedule we have coming up and with the play that we've put out the last 2 weeks. So,
I mean, I said this a few weeks ago. After week 2, I knew y'all wasn't gonna make the playoffs. But I don't know. I don't got really much to say. Caleb got to be better. Offensive line got to be better. Coaching got to be better. Y'all better fix this quick before y'all ruin another quarterback. That's all it is to it. Already inherently having another coach, having 2 coaches in your first 2 years is not good at all. It's just not a thing that really works for a quarterback, especially young ones. So y'all need to get this together before I ruin him. And then you just ruin a generational prospect. So time is ticking. Hopefully when you fire Flus in the offseason, you guys actually make the right hire.
I don't even know if it's an off-season thing. I don't know if it's an off-season thing.
No, they're not going to fire him in the
I could very well see us dropping to these next couple of games. If we lose the Patriots and if we start losing all of our division games, yes, I think he'll be fired before the season's over for sure.
Isn't it hasn't it been like they haven't fired a coach in the middle of the season?
I don't think we also haven't this kind of situation though in a long time.
But yeah, y'all need to hurry up and do something.
Situation with Matt Nagy. That was like 3 years ago.
I'm saying more like expectations wise. I feel like even then our expectations were more tame than they are now.
So yeah, I asked you if y'all win 7 games, would it be a disappointment? You said no. I don't know where you got that from. That'll be a complete and utter disappointment.
For my standards, no. For my standards, no. I said I was happy with 8.
There's no way y'all just drafted a generational quarterback and did not win a single.
It's how you win those games. Stop.
He never gets too high. He never gets too high on none of his teams, so he never has to deal with any type of risk.
This is what I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
If you
y'all shouldn't be winning no damn 7 games.
Objectively speaking, based off the first 9 games of the schedule, you could barring some dumbass Tyreek Stevenson taunting the fans and things like that. They would probably be sitting right now, probably 6-3, 7-2 at best. And at that point, you build yourself a great cushion going to that back half of your schedule where you only got to win 2 games at most, and you're probably in the playoffs. Things happen, and now dumb coaching and bad play calling and not having scripted plays and all this.
So you should be disappointed.
Yeah,
that be disappointed because
that puts you so much behind the 8 ball. And keeping Flus, I understand because the defense performed and all of that. You should have got away with that because not that you weren't supposed to go away from defense, but obviously you got a quarterback, and like T was saying, 2 coaches is already a bad thing because you need continuity. But you should have had an offensive coach in there in the first place because if everything hits 9 times out of 10, that coach is going to be there for the next 10 years. Like Andy Reid ain't going nowhere for a while. Because him and Patrick Mahomes, they pretty much in lockstep. Every year they're growing. They're the same people. To keep switching things out every 3 years is always going to put you behind the 8 ball every single time. And as of right now, it's not starting out good. They dropped 3 easy games that they pretty much should have won, and that put them on now. Like to make the playoffs, they got to basically go 5-1 in the division games, and that's just not going to happen. If they went 2, if they won all their games now and just went 2-4. Like, say they caught the Lions when the Lions had the division locked.
That's what I think is going to happen.
The Vikings, who now look like very beatable, now or the Packers, or if say they got some things locked up, then you get your 2 wins, you a 9-win team, 10-win team, and you're pretty much in the playoffs. But they already squandered that, so they either got to sweep the division or not. They're just not going to make the playoffs. And
that's what I'm saying. Latif,
it's blame to go all around, but I'd blame the coaching staff first before anything.
And I 100% agree. I think it's stupid to blame Caleb. I think it's the dumbest thing if people blame Caleb. That makes no sense to me.
He gets blamed,
but
he's
terrible.
He's the sole blame. That makes no sense.
He's the sole blame. I'm not saying, but he definitely gets blamed because there's things he could be doing that's a lot better. But
I guess I'm going GM.
Coaching. A good coach could.
I agree. GM and coaching.
If you had Ben Johnson in there, a lot of that wouldn't be going on.
Agreed.
It's
Latif, I was gonna say one thing. I was gonna say like 7 or 8 wins is not disappointing. It's just how we got them. And if we have 5 wins and we sneak out a terrible win and then we beat the Packers week 18, great, we're at 7 wins. It's like that's not a real
wins. Justin Fields, and that's going to be the story. And you're gonna have to deal with that all season, which makes what makes it even worse because that does worse for your franchise again. When you've got a whole bunch of strife, they wanted this dude, the city wanted this dude, but y'all went and got this dude, and he's not doing anything better than what Justin was doing, and this and the third. It's like there's a whole lot of things that make you look worse than you're supposed to, than it already really is.
Yeah, I mean. I think if I was a Bears fan,
this says dominated by Commanders. We played the Cardinals.
I know. I forgot. I forgot. But y'all got. Lost to the Cardinals. Commanders too. So whatever. But yeah. Do you want to predict the rest of their schedule or no? Is that too?
Shoot, you're gonna disagree with me, but that's fine.
Okay. So y'all are 4-4, right? Or
4-5.
Didn't y'all have your bye week already, bro?
Yeah.
They got 3 wins at most left on their schedule.
Y'all, there's no way y'all 4-5. There's no way y'all 4-5. Y'all had a bye week already.
4-4. That's tweaked.
All right, the Bears are 4-4. They have 9 games left. Max, I want you to predict their schedule to end the season. Sunday, November 10th against the Patriots at home.
Let's hope that's a win.
Sunday, November 17th at home versus the Packers.
I'll say I think we get one. So I'll say that's the loss. I'll say that's the loss. Week 18 won't matter. So I'll say that's the loss.
You going into Lambeau and winning?
But I'm thinking playoff implications. If it's already sorted out, the Lions got the division. They got the 1 seed. Jordan Love's been banged up all year. Is there a good chance that they actually – I get it. Are they really going to sit him out for a Bears-Packers game? No. But if Jordan Love's been beat up all year, are you really going to play him in a game that doesn't mean anything? I don't know. That's why I'm like, I'm going between. So we split, whatever you want to say.
I watch Malik Willis.
Shut up. That would be so, oh my gosh, that would piss me off. I'll go win on this one then. Fine, we're home, but we're not winning 2 in a row. So
November 24th, Vikings at Bears. A lot of home games.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'll take the Week 18 one. But I think we beat the Vikings one time. But I'll say this is the loss.
Right.
I think
November 28th. November 28th at the Lions.
Loss.
December 8th at the 49ers.
Loss.
December 16th at the Vikings.
I think one of these is a win, so I'll take the win against the Vikings there. I don't think we win 3 straight. So
December 22nd at home versus the Lions.
Loss.
December 26th.
I do think we could beat the Lions. I'm just gonna say. I think we get 2. I think we get. That's crazy. We beat them last year.
Bro, what? They're better than
last year. We beat them twice last year. I think we win 2 division games. However you want to slice it up, we win 2 division games.
I would bet on that. I would bet that you're not. I don't think you're gonna beat the Lions this entire season.
I think we can.
You got to be smart about this. At this point, the Lions have 13 wins. They're not going to be playing their starters. If they have 13 wins, they win.
He said they can beat the Lions. He's talking about at full health. He's not. He's talking about everybody's playing.
They can beat the Lions. Will they? I don't know.
At week 17, they can beat the Lions because 9 times out of 10 they're not playing their full. They're not playing their everybody.
This week 16, I think.
Week 16.
Same thing.
December 26th at home versus the Seahawks.
Win. I just think we win that one. I think we got that one.
Week 18 at home versus the Packers. On the road versus the Packers.
Lost. We split.
Okay.
So I think I got. I got 3. I got 4.
So y'all go 7.
I have 4.
So 8-9.
8-9.
You're predicting 8-9.
Yep.
If they go 8-9, how do you feel?
I think I have them. I think I was expecting 8-9 or 9-8, so they met my expectations.
Yeah, you did. You said 8-9.
So,
but see, that's the thing, though. You could be. It's 2 different type of 8-9, 9-8 win. Like
I agree, 100%.
Or a bad 8-win team. Like the Lions were a 9-win team, and they looked like a 12-win team because of how hard they played. The Bears are gonna squeak to 8 wins, like just off the strength of the Lions having the division locked up, so they're probably not gonna play their starters. The Packers probably not gonna play their starters last game of the season.
Well,
So
I mean, we're beating up on 3 teams in the first 5 games that are all going to be picking within the top 5 as well. So, again, we talk about schedule and strength of schedule, whatever, but that also definitely plays a big factor into it as well.
Yeah, like I was supposed to get that Colts win
and the Cardinals win.
I was supposed to get the Colts win. I was supposed to get the Cardinals win. I was supposed to get the Commanders win. Y'all would have been in a very good, very decent spot.
But at the same time, you're looking at the team. It's messy wins, right? So you're really confident going on the stretch and like you know what I mean? Maybe we get into the playoffs, but again, like that's where you're saying like not all 8-win teams look the same. Not all playoff teams look the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even if we do get those wins, it's cool, great, because what we're sitting at 7 and you're saying 7-2, 7-3.
Yeah, y'all would have been about 7-2 right now.
Yeah, but then then let's say we squeak out 2-3 more wins. We're sitting in the playoffs with 10 wins. We get blown out, and then it's like, you know what I mean? We made the playoffs, but like going forward,
if y'all was a 6-2 team, I think y'all'd be going into the Patriots. I think y'all'd come out with that. Y'all'd be 8-2, and I think just based on that momentum, those division games aren't as hard as they are now. Like they're even harder now because the Bears are trash. If they were like an 8-win team going into that stretch, I'd feel confident of y'all getting 2-3 wins easily in hard fought games because y'all be a better looking team. Y'all just not a good team.
I guess my thinking is more like the Cardinals when we lost. The Cardinals game we lost. I'm not gonna count that one. But like if 1 or 2 more plays go the right way in the Colts game, and then obviously if the one play doesn't happen in the Commanders game, we're sitting at 6-2, but we're not that much different of a team. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like we're like
the W will bring morale. That'll allow people to keep going and be like,
I get you.
Yeah, things ain't go out there, but we still won the game. So now we
false confidence.
It's easier to get coached when you're winning because then you could. It's easier to correct things when you're losing it, and if you're trying to get coached and somebody's trying to tell you what you're doing wrong, it's a lot worse, and that brings you down even more. But you could get coached easier when you win because you could pick little things out to make that win or even a bigger win than it was before.
I'm not trying to like make it seem like this is a good thing, but like at the same time, would it not be better to find out that Flus is not doing it right, Shane Waller's not doing it right, than saying like, oh, we're 6-2, like we can adjust that, you know what I mean? And then you're having these decisions at the end of the year, like, oh, should we fire Eberflus? Oh no, he got us to the playoffs. Like, why would we fire him, kind of thing? Versus now, where it's like you got to make tough decisions because you're seeing the play out in the field and what happens when you mess up on a play. You know what I'm saying? That make any sense or no?
Yeah, but I think
like the tough decisions we made. Anyway. So,
hold on, I'm cooking on something.
Player A and player B. I'm just not gonna answer. I'm literally gonna say player C. Is it Bryce Young? Is it Bryce Young?
No, bro, I'm trying to see.
Caleb and somebody.
No, it's not. Calm down. Okay. I'm almost done. I had to write this shit down because I ain't have time. Oh, man. All right. Player A versus player B. Player A. 1,886 total yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 61 completion percentage, 83.0 passer rating. Player B, 2,048 total yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 62.6 completion percentage, 79.6 passer rating. Max, stop looking this up, please. Max, can you stop? I see what you're doing.
I'm not looking up anything, bro.
Which player are you taking? If you need me to restate stats, I will restate stats.
Sure.
Again, player A, 1,886 total yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 61 completion percentage, 83 passer rating. Player B, 2,048 yards. I repeat, 2,048 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 62.6 completion percentage, and 79.6 passer rating.
You're really nasty.
Give me Caleb, bro.
And you don't even believe this. Like you don't even believe what you're doing.
Max, which player are you taking?
Give me Caleb, bro.
Which player is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Give me player A. Give me player A.
You taking player A, Max?
Yes.
I'm never gonna ever go Bo Nix over Caleb Williams. That's just never gonna happen, bro.
You're taking player A. Q.
You're taking player A too. Stop doing that.
You're taking player A. This season, Bo Nix has been better than Caleb this season. I don't know what to tell you, bro. He has. In a much worse situation.
Are you taking Bo Nix over Caleb
in the future?
Yep.
Today, are you taking Bo Nix over Caleb?
Based on how they played this season?
Are you taking Bo Nix over Caleb?
Based on how they played this season, Bo Nix has been better than Caleb Williams this season.
Are you?
That's the question.
You're not answering my question. Are you taking Bo Nix over Caleb
for the rest of this season?
Nope.
You tap dancing crazy right now. Ridiculous.
No, Caleb Williams obviously has a better outlook, but I would believe that Bo Nix is better this season in a much worse situation. He has better play calling, yes, for sure, but his weapons suck. So he has a good running game though, but and a good defense. But yeah, he's been better on the 295 rushing yards. I was very, very surprised to see that.
Did you not watch the first couple of Bo Nix games? He's like running for his life.
Why would I be watching Bo Nix? I'll be serious. Anyway.
Did you just say you took him over Caleb?
No. From what I've seen,
he's so all over the.
He's everywhere. It's like
just finish
up, bro.
He's making some really good passes. A lot of dump downs like that. More stuff he did in college, but Caleb's been awful outside of 2 games, which was the 2 worst defenses in the entire NFL, basically. So. 2-minute drill though. I want to say something. I got on TikTok. I got on the internet and said that the move to bench Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco was terrible, and I was proved right. Joe Flacco is a terrible quarterback. I mean, he's serviceable, but he's what is that word called? He's a gunslinger. Last year he had 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. The Browns won that game largely off their defense, the games they won, and he was good enough for them to not be an abysmal offense. But no, like he is not good enough to be benching Anthony Richardson. That should have never been the case. Anthony Richardson was your project quarterback. You drafted 4th overall, and yes, he made a dumb decision, and yes, he's been terrible. But you need him on the field getting reps. There is no value in him sitting and learning behind Joe Flacco. Maybe to be a leader, but Joe Flacco is not a good quarterback. We can be serious. The Colts were not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs with Joe Flacco, and they were never going to make the playoffs this season. So for you to be sitting him was stupid. It was dumb, and they shouldn't be doing that. He should be starting. Also, on the flip side of that, the same thing with Bryce Young. Andy Dalton gave you a win in 1 game. Develop your young quarterbacks. These players are still in year 2. Develop them. You should not be playing veterans that aren't going to give you a much better chance to win in the long run over your young quarterback who you have a lot invested in. And I'm so glad Bryce got a win against the trash-ass Saints. He played really well. That interception was not on him at all. So, Bryce, we back, baby. Let's go. I believe in you. So, that's all I got to say.
We.
Yes.
No, he's a Panthers fan.
Alabama. But go ahead. I digress.
Shout out Cedric Tillman. That's all I got right now. Hooping, only Browns player with Jameis that's been hooping right now. My only 2-minute drill is that just the Chiefs, I think, are should be odds on favor, should be every favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. I think a 3-peat is imminent. I think my prediction
is so ridiculous, bro. It's like
he's jumped team to team to team. He's talked about a lot of teams today. Said we a lot today too. I think we can disagree with Eagles or Lions. I think the Eagles have looked pretty good too. I still think the Lions are going to make a move here to get an edge. Obviously, as Darius Smith has been thrown out a lot.
Yeah, whatever happens. But 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, they definitely have somebody.
Is it going to be Za'Darius or not? You think it's going to be Za'Darius? So
most likely.
Hutch, obviously irreplaceable. Very few players can do what he does. But I do think Za'Darius Smith puts you in a good position to get more edge help, to help more against whoever you kind of come across come playoff time. But I think at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. D-Hop looked great tonight. I do think that the Chiefs can somehow sneak out another trade for a cornerback. If you can get Lattimore, great. I think it can somehow work along the margins, give away a low pick, try and get somebody that's serviceable enough that can fit their scheme. I got nothing. They're winning all these games. No matter what happens, they're just finding a way to squeak out a win. So that's been happening all year. I just see it to continue happening. You can't bet against Pat Mahomes. He's inevitable at this point in time. So I do think that it could be a three-peat season and almost cementing him as the GOAT in my mind. But
yeah, ain't no more conversation after that.
Yeah, they're gonna go all out this year because after you get a three-peat, you're awarded the grace of not being very, very good for the next three. Like they could go on a three-peat and then, like the Patriots, not make a Super Bowl for the next 10 years and it's gonna be fine. They're not gonna do that. They probably miss out on it like twice just to get everything back because they got a lot of money and capital invested into other players that obviously once they go down, they get out of here, they're gonna have to like reshape things because Travis Kelce and Chris Jones not gonna be there after 3 years. They're pretty much both gonna be gone, and you're gonna have to restart this whole thing all over again. You'll probably be left with Rasheed Rice.
Pacheco, I think, sits around a little longer.
Nah, you could move off him tomorrow. You'll be fine.
Trey McDuffie stays.
Yeah, you'll have Trent. Stays. You'll have Rasheed Rice. You'll have Patrick Mahomes, Creed Humphrey, and whoever else on the line. Hollywood's on a 1-year deal. You're good. That's not part of it.
I feel like they might try and resign because Diop is definitely Diop on a 1 or 2. Is Diop on a 1 or 2 year?
He's on a 1 year deal. Like his contract over after this.
He's done.
2 minutes. Hollywood. What's your 2 minute Q?
It's just the Chargers. Hey, but a lot of people were down on the Chargers. You could have looked at the schedule. Great coach, good defense. You could have seen that they was going to easily find their way to 10 wins. They dropped 2 games that they probably could have won easily. Like they could have won that Cardinal game easily, but a whole lot of things that had nothing to do with Justin Herbert made them lose that game. They still got it. They still got for sure 4 wins left on the schedule and a couple 50-50s. They probably end the game on like a 4-game winning streak. Easily a 10-win team. I think they win 11 games and they're easily in the playoffs.
All right, 5-3 right now.
Yeah, they're 5-3.
But Justin Herbert gets playoff football.
They got the Broncos.
Broncos are scrappy. I
think the Patriots.
Apparently, Bo Nix is an MVP contender for Latif.
Yeah, they got the Buccaneers, the Patriots, the Broncos, and then they got the Titans. You got the tough games are the Saints game against the Bengals, the night game against the Chargers, and then the Falcons and the Chiefs. But I don't think they're gonna beat the Chiefs. But the Falcons, Ravens, and Bengals, they could go 2-1 in that out of those games. And even if I didn't even count those games, I count those games as losses, and they still got 5 wins on the schedule.
All right, that's gonna do it for episode 119. Thank you guys for showing love and sticking with us. It is late for us. It's 12 o'clock. I know it's 1 o'clock for Max. So we're gonna be out. Thank you, Max, for waking up and getting the video done. Thank you for waking up and getting the video done. We are out, man. See y'all.